can't believe this. In 2026, there are countries that did not vote to get rid of slavery. That's absurd. So bringing this to light is Going Farther Together. We're removing these countries from our travel list after the UN slavery vote. Wow, that's heavy. I really look forward to finding out what these countries are, because I might have to do the same. That's absurd, man. That's just sad.
Month, 123 countries around the world voted to officially declare slavery a crime against humanity at the United Nations. And 52 other countries, including places we've been telling you to visit, refused to even vote.
As Black Americans planning our lives abroad, this changes everything. The world just voted on one of the darkest parts of history, and the results reveal something most travelers completely overlook when choosing on where to go. So if you're thinking about living abroad, this global vote might change how you see certain countries and why some places feel very different when you actually get.
Anybody in the comments, like, who do you think it is? What kind of countries do you think we're talking about here? Are there any big players that we should be aware of? It's just really sad.
Get there. And if you've been following our journey, you know we are all about helping people find affordable, welcoming places to live, work, and retire abroad. We've lived in multiple countries, we track every expense, and we always try to give you the real story, both the good and the challenging parts of expat life. But today's video is a little different because we're talking about something that happened at the United Nations that every Black American and Black traveler that's considering life abroad needs to know about.
Because here's the thing.
Hey, bro, what about those Irish folk? You know that. Come on now. There's a lot of different people that were saved. You know, just saying.
When we're choosing to spend our money, where to invest our time, and where to potentially build our future, the way a country views our history, our humanity, actually matters. And this vote just gives us a crystal clear picture of where these different countries stand.
So in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what happened at this UN vote, why it matters for us as travelers and expats, and which countries we're reconsidering, but most importantly, which countries stepped up and said, yes, slavery was a crime against humanity, and why those might be the better destinations for us.
So let's start with the facts. On March 25th and March 26th of this year, the United Nations General Assembly voted on a resolution.
Here we go, guys. Drum roll, please. Which countries are we talking about? Oh, man.
This resolution, led by Ghana, officially declared the transatlantic slave trade and chattel enslavement as the gravest crime against humanity. And here's how the vote broke down. So we had 123 countries vote yes, 3 countries voted no, and 52 countries abstained. So let's talk about the countries that actually voted against this resolution, because this is where it gets really important for us as travelers. Starting with the United States, which is our home country, voting against this resolution is painful, but not surprising to us any at all. The U.S. has consistently not acknowledged slavery's ongoing impact, and it's always resisted any talks of reparations. So for those of us who are looking to leave the U.S. for better opportunities abroad, this vote just reinforces.
Are you serious? You know what? I guess I'm not that surprised. The U.S. voted no against, oh my God, slavery's over, and we're still like, yeah, well, we enslave all these other countries, so we have to vote no. What in the world? Where do I live?
Is why we've been looking elsewhere.
Israel's vote is also troubling, given their own history with genocide and crimes against humanity. Israel has been a popular destination for some Black Americans, especially those in
Israel. Well, that's not surprising now, is it? Is it? Good Lord.
Interested in religious tourism or tech opportunities, but this vote raises serious questions about how they view our history and our humanity.
And while Argentina's vote might surprise some people, it did not catch us off guard. We learned recently about some of the history of the country and covered it in one of our recent.
Well, guys, where did the Nazis run to after the war, or like towards the end of the war, World War II? They went to Argentina, still a little town full of Germans, blonde hair, blue eyes, still speaking German. They know Spanish, but they'll speak German. What? Oh my God. What is going on in this world? I thought Argentina was like God-fearing, healthy society just run by a crazy guy.
Videos. We're
Whoa.
going to link it in the description for you to watch after this video. To summarize it though, Argentina has a complex history with race, and they literally tried to whiten their population in the 19th and 20th centuries. This vote suggests that those attitudes might still be influencing their government.
Now, we're not saying that you should never visit these countries, but as Black Americans, we need to travel with our eyes wide open. And when a country's government votes against acknowledging slavery as a crime against humanity, this just lets us know how we might be treated by their authorities, whether we'll face discrimination in housing, employment, or daily life, or how our children might be treated in schools. And would we truly feel welcomed or safe there?
But real quick though, can you do us a huge favor and hit that like button?
Yeah,
it tells
definitely.
YouTube that this kind of content matters and helps us reach more people who need this information. And if you're watching it on the YouTube app, tap that hype button that's right below the video. You can only hide videos in their first week, but those points really help small channels like ours reach more people.
But back to the topic, this vote is information, and it's information we're personally adding to our decision-making process about where we want to spend our money, our time, and potentially our lives. Stay tuned, because while these countries voted no, we will be discussing some countries who did vote yes. But first, let's talk about the 52 countries that abstained.
So 52 countries abstained from this vote, meaning they refused.
Albania, Andorra, Armenia, really? Australia, Jesus, Austria, Belgium, Bosnia, Bulgaria, Cambodia, Canada, Chile, Croatia, Cyprus, Czechia, really? Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Georgia. Oh, to the BC. I always wanted to go. How could you guys? Germany, not surprised. Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Japan. It's like the EU, right? Japan, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Montenegro, Netherlands, New Zealand, North Macedonia. It's all the Western countries. And then Cambodia, and then like some South American countries. Moldova, Romania, San Marino, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Ukraine, United Kingdom, and Uruguay. Uruguay? Really? Guys, are you surprised by this? Of course, it's all the Western world. Just blown away.
Used to say whether slavery was a crime against humanity or not, which in my opinion, they might as well have just said no. And when you look at the list, it's like a who's who of countries that built their wealth on the slave trade. Some of the countries that abstained included Canada, France, Spain, Portugal, the Netherlands, Belgium, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Italy.
Are you noticing a pattern here? These are European countries that profited the most from the transatlantic slave trade. Portugal and Spain started it. Britain dominated it. France, Netherlands, Belgium, they all built empires on enslaved African labor. And in 2026, they still can't bring themselves to call it a crime against humanity.
And this is pretty hard for us because some of these countries are popular expat destinations. You have countries like Portugal, which has been getting
slavery.
a lot.
They enslaved people all around the world. And the people who are still enslaved are part of that population out there in Asia. And I think the reason they're doing this is because they want to continue their manufacturing efforts.
A lot of attention for its D7 visa and its affordable cost of living. You have Spain, which has the non-lucrative visa that many Americans have been using. And Canada's abstention particularly leaves a bad taste in our mouths because so many Black Americans have been using Canada as a progressive alternative to the U.S., but when it came time to take a stand on slavery, they decided they wanted to stay silent.
Here's the thing about abstaining. It's not neutral. When the question is, was slavery a crime against humanity? There's really only one morally acceptable answer. And abstaining here is just choosing not to condemn this part of history.
But here's the good news, because there were 123 countries that did vote yes. And some of these countries are exactly the places that we've been telling you offer the best opportunities for Black Americans and other Black travelers abroad. Some of the countries that voted yes were Ghana, who led the resolution, Kenya, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Brazil, Barbados, Mexico, the Philippines, and many more.
And just to add some real life context from our own travels, we actually lived in several of these yes countries, and based on our time there, we can see why they voted the way that they did. Let's start with Ghana, because their leadership on this issue has been incredible. Not only did they sponsor this resolution, but for years they have been inviting Blacks from all across the diaspora with their Year of the Return and the Beyond the Return campaigns. And with Ghana, these campaigns aren't just for show. Many thousands of people have been granted citizenship over the past few years.
And this is why Ghana just keeps coming up as one of those best destinations for Black Americans. Not only do they stand on being welcoming to all Black people everywhere, but they consistently stand up for African dignity and Black humanity on the world stage. And if you haven't heard of Dirty December, it's a great time.
You know, the original Scottish people weren't just white, also Black. And Ireland, modern-day Ireland, was called Scotia. And that's where the lost tribes of Israel ran to, some of them, after going to Spain and moving onwards. And they were Black and white. And that's where my bloodline comes from, just to let you guys know. There's a reason Irish people were enslaved just as often as Black people. You know, the head count was clearly lower, but, you know, it's messed up, man. Our history is dark.
To visit Accra, which is the capital of Ghana, when the city transforms into a global Black festival with concerts, parties, and cultural events for a one-of-a-kind annual reunion. And for our community that's looking at places to live abroad, Ghana is going to be an excellent choice with an affordable cost of living and an escape from the hustle culture of the West. In Ghana, you're going to be able to feel anchored, living in communities where everyone around you looks like you.
Malaysia voting yes is significant because it becomes a major destination for Black American expats and digital nomads. Malaysia has the MM2H visa program, affordable healthcare, and a growing expat community. Their yes shows that they understand and respect our history. And if you've been following our channel, you know how much we genuinely enjoy Malaysia and consistently recommend it, as it's a great place to visit and live long term.
You, of course, are going to need to check out Kuala Lumpur, which is the heartbeat of Malaysia. And there are some other great areas to visit like Penang and Georgetown. The food throughout the country is amazing with a blend of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous influences. And the country is also very safe, offering a high quality of life while still remaining incredibly affordable.
Moving on to Thailand, the land of smiles has always been welcoming to Black Americans, and their yes just reinforces that. With multiple visa options, affordable living costs, and excellent healthcare, Thailand continues to prove itself as a destination that values human dignity.
It's one of the most ideal places to visit for a trip of a lifetime or for a new life abroad. There are so many amazing areas to choose from. You, of course, have the energy and hustle of the capital city, Bangkok, which has everything you need. But if the chaos of the city is too much for you, you can check out Hua Hin for a much more laid-back vibe. It's particularly great for retirees, but it's also an amazing beach trip location also. You, of course, have some of the popular regions like Phuket, Koh Samui, Pattaya, and Koh Phangan as well.
Brazil's yes vote is particularly meaningful because Brazil actually received more enslaved Africans than any other country in the Americas. For Brazil to vote yes shows a level of historical acknowledgement that the U.S. still refuses to make. And in our opinion, Brazil might be the most underrated destination on this list.
That's
While it
what
has
I've
grown in
heard.
popularity for vacation trips, we really do consider it to be one of the best options for long-term stays.
My star
There
chart
are a
says
number
to
of
move
regions
there.
that are suitable for expats like Sao
like
Paulo,
87%
Fortaleza,
match.
Salvador, and Florianopolis. And if you've been asleep on Brazil, it is time for you to wake up. Another
that.
yes country
What?
is the Philippines, and after spending some time in Manila recently, I am not surprised at all. They are consistently some of the friendliest people I have ever encountered while
sure.
traveling. And the Philippines continues to be an amazing destination to visit with so many areas.
Remember the Pacific Ocean, Pacific pacifist. You know, these people that ruled the ocean at one point that are, you know, they're all descended from, you know, Philippines and that area all the way up and down. But there's a huge kingdom there at one point. And they have very specific genetic markers that trace all across the Pacific Ocean. And they are known as the pacifist people. So, yeah, they're very nice people. You just got to be aware of, like, what you get yourself into, of course. You know, just like everywhere else. Don't go there for ill-gotten means, you know. Go there with a genuine heart and go to church, man.
For all of us to explore. You have the hustle and food culture of Manila, and of course, the many island destinations that the Philippines is famous for, like
Indescribable.
Bohol, Palawan, and other
What?
lesser-known great areas like Leyte. Filipino food is amazingly flavorful with options like sinigang, lumpia, pancit, chicken adobo, tocino, and the list goes on and on. And the
Fat boy
great
be
part about
happy.
all of
I
it
would
is
be
just
so
how
stoked.
affordable it is. You can fly to the different islands and try all the food you can handle without tearing through your budget.
Vietnam might surprise some people on this list, but they actually voted yes. And Vietnam has been quietly
Nice.
becoming a great destination for Black American digital nomads and English teachers. Their yes
Yeah.
vote suggests a country that understands historical injustice.
Dude, Vietnam's one of those places, if you teach English, you're like upper crust of society. You're making money.
And while Da Nang has recently been getting a lot of
Basically-
hype for
you're
areas to settle in,
basically,
Hoi
babysitting.
An, Ho Chi
So,
Minh City
you know.
also have great infrastructure
Keep that in
and
mind.
cost of living that would make them excellent for expats and retirees.
We also
Sick.
saw that Barbados voted yes, and that makes perfect sense. They've shown what their position is on these issues when they removed Queen Elizabeth as a head of state a couple of years ago, and they've
Hell
been
yeah.
leaders in reparation discussions. And to add to the political alignment for Black Americans, they also have what's called the Welcome Stamp Visa for remote workers that welcome us with open arms. It's one of the better visa programs since it lasts 12 months and is renewable. On the visa, you can travel in and out of
didn't
the
know that.
country, and you're exempt from paying any local taxes. And for those who want to just give Barbados a visit instead of staying long term, the island regularly hosts festivals and events specifically for Black travelers from across the diaspora. Not only will you feel respected in Barbados, but it consistently ranks as one of the
Barbados.
safest Caribbean islands as well.
When a country votes yes, that is a practical signal that leaders understand and are willing to acknowledge.
Guys, be honest. If I give you a map of the Caribbean, could you zoom in on Barbados immediately? Point it out on the map? Or would it take you a minute?
Historical injustice. It also suggests that they are more likely to take current racial inequity seriously, and it shows moral leadership on issues that matter most to us. Most
Beautiful.
importantly, it sends a message that Black travelers and expats are more likely to be welcomed and respected.
So for us, those yes votes are like green lights. They're countries that are saying, we see you, we respect your history, and we
love these
acknowledge
guys.
the injustices your people have faced. That's the kind of environment where we want to build our lives.
Now, we want to be clear. We are not saying to avoid every country that abstained or voted no. Government positions don't always reflect how individual people will treat you, but this vote does give us important data about official attitudes and policies.
And if you are considering a country that abstained or voted no, here's what we've recommended to do. Look for Black expat communities and their experiences, investigate recent incidents of racism or discrimination, and check their policies on hate crimes and racial violence. For us personally, though, this vote is going to make us prioritize countries that did vote yes. Because
Amen.
when we
There's
have
plenty of
choices
them.
between destinations, we're
Yeah.
going to choose the places that stood up for our humanity. And honestly,
Yes.
when you look at the countries that voted yes, they're offering some of the best opportunities and experiences anyway.
Right.
So what do you
Yeah.
think? How is this UN vote influencing your travel plans? Drop a comment and let us know which
I
countries
think
you're
it's actually
reconsidering or
going
which
to greatly influence my travel plans. Wow. God, my eyes are all itchy. There must be something blooming outside right now. Springtime. It's terrible. Jeez, I hate that. No, I'm definitely reconsidering where I'm gonna go. Yeah, you guys are right. And where'd you guys do you guys practice this, or is this just like natural charisma? Do you guys have a teleprompter, or are you just off the top of the head, back and forth, just full of knowledge, just complimenting each other? Like, that is incredible. This is what two happy people look like. It's good to see, man.
countries you want to learn more about. And if you want to see our video about where we discuss some other countries you might want to avoid, check out our
Excuse
video
me.
on the screen.
God, something's
Bye
blooming.
for now, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out. Yeah, guys, go to Going Farther Together. These guys are awesome. I'm going to have to watch more and more. That's just good stuff. I'm even going to hit the little bell icon to all right here because I want to keep up with them and, see what they're up to. Their perspective is genuine, and I really like it. I'm glad to add that to my back pocket of people to keep up with. I hope you guys do the same. I hope you got something good out of this. We need to free the world. We need to build peace. And we're moving there, one step in the right direction with this UN vote. Hopefully, the United States or these other countries didn't use their veto ability, because that's always the case. I don't know why they have that. Anyways,